where I
motorcycle.
stand for.
So if you put on a
And
helmet
trauma
and
is a
fasten
disease
it,
which
it will
is
prevent
largely preventable.
you
All
from
of
sustaining
you would
severe
agree
brain
with me.
injury up to
If
90%.
you follow
And that is our responsibility,
rules,
social responsibility also, as well as we will avoid lot of pain in the family and the society and the cost to the nation. Trauma care globally costs $500 billion, whether we want it or we do not want it. Developed countries have really done well by developing trauma systems, so injury mortality and morbidity has significantly come down. But in our country, if you look at, we still are sustaining the proportion of people who die and the number of accidents is very high on our roads. Recently, I visited Puducherry for initiating ATLS program in one of the universities, a medical institution there, and the driver suddenly turned to take me through ECR. You know, from Chennai to Puducherry, you have two highways. One is ECR, goes along the sea. Another one, the old one, which has a divider in between. So I said, why have you taken the turn? And it was dark, it was night. So we insisted that you take the old highway. We are not going to go on the ECR because it is still not, the doubling has not been done. So these things you have to consider. Lot of accidents happen because of lack of sleep, either by the driver, whosoever is driving, and also some carelessness. So that is where I will put end to the medical aspect of what I had to say. I'll also talk about certain tips for leading a better life by all of you. What I have learned through my being in medical profession over last almost close to half century. So each one of you has a tremendous potential to excel in whichever area, profession you choose, specialization you choose. You will have that opportunity. Only condition is that you should be passionate about it. Raise your own bar, because we as teachers, gurus can give you some guidance, but ultimately it is you who have to accomplish that. And raise your own bar. Many a times when we are adults, we have to unlearn certain things, we have to learn certain new things, and we have to relearn many things. One should be prepared to do that, as I was reluctant to learn working on a computer when I was around the age of 40. My younger son would make slides for me. But then I realized that I cannot do without it. So I learned how to handle computer. And the same thing is happening today. So much buzz about AI, so much buzz about digitization of everything. The banking system, for example. We could have never imagined 40 years ago that banking will become totally you can from home. And that has happened. And I don't know how many, you are all Gen Zs, born around year 2000 or later. There was a strike in the State Bank of India against computerization. Many of you may not know this. Today, can you think of banking without computers, without digitization? It's just not possible. So one thing is good. Whatever you want to achieve in life, you have to be fit. You have to be healthy. How can you do that? By at least walking for half an hour. Simple. If you can go to a gym, it is even better. And while you walk, you may listen to some music which will soothe you. What I have practiced in my institution at AIMS, over 37 years I stayed, I never took lift. I always would climb up to 9 floors when I go to operation theatre, 6 floors when I go to the ward. So wherever, even today, if there is a lift and a stairs, I prefer that. And that will keep you fit. And in office, many of you are not, you are working in offices, IT people, keep sitting on the computer. Make it a point to at least walk 2 minutes every hour, get up from your chair and work that. Remain cool. Don't get worked up if something is not happening as you would want. Think and analyze every day what went right, what went wrong. So that is something you can do. Of course, everybody talks about that we all must have enough sleep. But sometimes in our age, because of the physiological and anatomic changes in the body, we have to get up. Whenever you can get 7 hours sleep is better. But if you do not have that, take a power nap in between during the day. That will give you a lot of relaxation. If you have the luxury of being driven by somebody, you can take a nap while being driven. That is also possible. You must live with 4 E's, what I call. Lot of energy, enthusiasm, whatever you do in life, lot of enthusiasm. Empathy and compassion go in medical profession parallel. Nothing can be overemphasized, the importance of empathy, feeling the pain of others, and then you will not commit a mistake. I can assure you, in my half-century experience in medical profession, I never had a patient or a relative who would come and fight with me. If you are on the side of the patient, it will not happen. Above all, in medical profession more so, but all other professions also, ethics are important. Whether you are in law, whether you are in management, whether you are in any other science stream, so there is no replacement for ethical work. Physical activity has to be there. Today we are facing the problem of plenty. We have plenty of food around. We can order on Zomato, on other social methods to get food at home. We don't have to cook. So I think, but still I would say, I think as I heard the Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioning about the sports activities on the campus, you must indulge yourself in some sports activity when you are young. You can see at what age you can do what, but at my age, my practice is that even today morning I had a 1-hour walk. So I think that is very simple, least traumatic, no cost. You can do that. Drink plenty of water. Water is life. Jal hi jeevan hai. This is what we call in Hindi. So don't be conservative in consuming water. Eat more foods that are grown on plants or trees, and that will keep you happy. Excess of anything is bad. Even good thing in excess is bad. And this was not said by me. It was said by somebody in 14th century, Kabir. I think many of you have heard his name. And he said that excess of everything is bad. So we have to balance out what we are doing in life. Again, we were discussing in the morning, breakfast should be, and a lot of young children, they don't care for breakfast. My own sons, their mother keeps telling them, you must have a good breakfast. Maybe you can take a little bit less lunch, and dinner you can little bit cut down. So that is something, and we are doing just opposite to that, many of us, most of us, I am sure. Yoga and meditation, I cannot overemphasize the significance of yoga and meditation. That provides us with daily fuel for our busy lives. As President Abdul Kalam said, dream more while you are awake. That's very well said, and that is what will lead you to a lot of innovations. I saw that there are a lot of innovations have been done on this campus. Keep smiling. Laughter is the best medicine. People go to the park together, they laugh. But if there are opportunities for you to laugh with your colleagues, I think it's good for health. Let's not waste our time gossiping. Life is too short for wasting time. One must have a positive attitude in life, and that's what something will keep you. Negative things will be happening around us, and if we want to look at only negative things, you can find in plenty. But I think look at the positive side of everything and don't invest your energy in negative things. Invest your energy in positive thoughts. Big lesson we learn when we remain cool, we don't hate anybody, because that is something brings a lot of negativism in us. Don't envy your neighbor. Be happy if they have achieved something. Appreciate that. And this is what I was discussing with Dr. Vivek, that who are the two set of people who are happy with your progress? All students. So I said parents. I don't know who is coming to your mind. The other person who will be happy would be your teacher, your guru. Gurus always want their students to do better than them. Parents always, you achieve this much, your parents will praise you that much. Do it for others also. I think that is something we can do, and it will do a lot of good to a lot of people. We must understand that none of us are indispensable on this earth. A lot of people came and went away. So don't take yourself very seriously that this thing will not happen if I am not there. Things will still happen. Don't bring the past issues in your life. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, or anybody, that will unnecessarily lead to a lot of unpleasantness, and there is no need for that. Consider life as a school. Keep learning every day something. We all learn. Even at this age, I am learning every day a new thing. And that is something we must all understand. Whenever you are in argument with someone, don't try and win that argument at that point of time. It will bring a lot of unpleasantness. So sometimes we agree to disagree and maybe disagree a little later. And that will give you a lot of mental peace. Let's not compare with anybody, your neighbor or somebody at work, that he has bought this expensive car, or he has bought this expensive house, or this is earning that much. Don't compare. If you compare, you will be really doing a lot of harm to you. Always be in touch with your families. Call your mother, call your father at least once a week. That is also not happening these days. So that is something, because if you fall sick, these are the set of people who will come to your help, your family and your friends. If we forgive people for everything and anything, they may not have done good to us. It will again give you a lot of peace of mind. Remember, we rise and we fall. That's a law of nature. So don't worry about it. Howsoever good or bad situation is, will change. It is not going to remain forever. And don't get disheartened if things don't happen to you as you would have wished them to happen. You don't know what is in store for you in future. And you will, in retrospect, realize that, okay, it's good that that didn't happen then. Otherwise, I would have got stuck. So, but don't give up. Keep trying. And you should be happy from within. I think do things which make you happy from within. I think that's the bottom line. Another thing I can suggest to all of you, if you have not done that so far, get a copy of Gita with you. Start reading it when you are young. It gives you solution to practically every problem. It is not going to remain. This is one quote which I have picked up from chapter 2, verse 63, when Lord Krishna said that to Arjun, from anger comes clouding of judgment. From clouding of judgment comes memory loss, bewilderment of your memory, and destruction of intellect. We cannot take right decision when we are angry, and we harm ourselves and we may harm others also. This is a very profound verse from Gita. I like it and I quote it many times. Let's not be bogged down by anger if things are not happening as we want them to happen. Somebody said to err is human, which is natural. But to accept that you have done something which is not right, it's culture. It's not going to remain. And if we improve upon that mistake, that is progress. And we must all keep doing that, and that will give you a lot of, sometimes our own egos, insecurities, or sometimes we are so rigid, we don't accept others. The moment we accept, everything just rolls out. And you will feel so relaxed. Why I was fighting like we fight at home, husband and wife. If the wife is not ready to go for they have to go for a marriage, they start fighting. There's no need to fight there. Marriage is not going to stop if you are not there. And unnecessarily you are spoiling your relationship. In COVID, I think there was a mention of COVID, that there was a lab set up here. So there were a lot of psychosocial problems during COVID related to brain, chest, heart, body, musculoskeletal. There were medications. So there were tremendous psychosocial effects of COVID, and many of these psychosocial impact was taken care by our ancient wisdom of yoga, breathing, pranayams, and also some counseling and etc. So psychoneuroimmunology, what we thought, our thoughts and emotions affect immune system. Stress, anxiety, fear, negative emotions, social problems during COVID, they are known to weaken our immune system. Stress, anxiety, fear, negative emotions, meditation, problems during COVID, they are known to weaken our immune system. Relaxes stress, anxiety, fear, negative emotions, meditation, problems during COVID. So unlock your self-healing potential. It is possible. We can do it. And we must put a lot of emphasis on healthy living. And if you learn this from a young age, like when you are passing out, you have tremendous future ahead, and we are all excited about it, and we have a bright future in our nation with all of you excelling in your fields. But keep your physical activity and exercise intact. Right thoughts and attitude towards life, it's vital for well-being. What we eat is also very vital. And then naturally, the recreational activities you can do of your choice, and behavior. Healthy interpersonal relationships will enhance psychosocial health. Stay safe, stay healthy, and then we can stand as one humanity to fight the enemy within. So, students, ladies and gentlemen, and we must again congratulate all of you for excelling in your areas. But even if you remember one thing out of what I have just said, it will do a lot of good to each one of you. Thank you so much.